Imagine living life without color. What would that look like? Hi everyone, Ken here. Welcome to This House. Today we are exploring the home of George and Marguerite Westinghouse. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. George Westinghouse was born in New York. His father was an inventor who manufactured machines, something that greatly interested George. At only 14 years old, he dropped out of school to work with his father. But the Civil War was just about to break out, so he enlisted in the Union Army as infantry, but was quickly transferred to the Navy as an assistant engineer. Just after his service, he moved to Pittsburgh where he made his first major breakthrough, the invention of the air brake, which used compressed air to push down on the brake shoe, creating friction to slow down and stop trains and automobiles. He then shifted his focus to railroad signaling. He believed there should be more efficient ways for trains to operate on the rails. He brought AC, or alternating currents, to the forefront of electrical engineering, going head-to-head with Thomas Edison, who was developing DC, or direct current. By 1886, George had established the Westinghouse Electric Company, where he secured hundreds of patents, being responsible for wiring the railways in cities as far away as London and Paris. He employed over 50,000 people and gained a net worth of $120 million, or the modern-day equivalent of about $3.9 billion. With this money, he and his wife Marguerite set out to build their dream house. Completed in 1893, the estate known as Erskine Park had been primarily designed by Marguerite, who was disgusted by the black soot that tarnished the buildings in the cities. She wanted a pristine escape from the stains of oil and coal, so she became obsessed with having a colorless house. The Queen Anne-style home sat in the middle of 600 acres in Lenox, Massachusetts. The exterior had been painted white, with a white driveway and white swans brought in to swim around the ponds. Marguerite was known for wearing all white while in the house, with long flowing satin gowns. Walking inside, you would see this theme carried on. The sweeping staircase was upholstered with white carpet below a tufted white satin ceiling. The rugs, furniture, and tufted wall treatments were all created from white fabrics, contrasting against the light wood floors and millwork. To the side of the entry hall was the living room, once again furnished in all white, with the only color coming from the millwork and flowers which had been plucked from her gardens. The dining room provided some relief from the stark interiors by incorporating floor-to-ceiling built-ins set against lightly stained wood paneling, set below a tufted white satin ceiling. China displayed in the cabinets introduced an assortment of subdued colors. Even the billiards table in the billiards room was finished with white velvet, set above a white rug and surrounded by white sofas. The most colorful room in the house was the veranda with retractable screens. Here we could find a brightly colored rug below wicker and rattan furniture, with flowering vines growing around the posts. From here you could enjoy views of the manicured lawns and see the swans swimming in the pond in the distance. The pond featured a footbridge, covered in ivy along with several fountains, and surrounded by grassy lawns broken up only by the occasional tree. Even the stables were painted all white, with a white gravel court set between them. Though the interiors were finished out with dark wood, all the upholstery and rugs were white. Set beyond the stables was George's favorite part of the estate, the electrical generator. It was capable of powering over 1,500 light bulbs for the estate. He had connected every building on his estate with buried electric wires to preserve the natural beauty of the landscape. In his later years, George's health began to decline. Having heart ailments, he was restricted to a wheelchair and passed away in March of 1914. Just 3 months later, a heartbroken Marguerite followed him to the grave, passing away in their beloved home. 3 years later, in 1917, their only son George sold Erskine Park to Maggie Vanderbilt, who had the home torn down, building her colonial revival-style mansion known as Homewood in its place, which persists to this day. What did you think about the monochromatic decorations? Could you have lived in a home devoid of color? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House. I would also like to take a moment to say a special thank you to our This House supporters whose names you can see on screen right now. If you would like to see your name on this screen, please consider joining our membership program today. I'll see you next time on This House.